Okay, welcome. Today is Thursday, September 9th, 2021. Welcome to the Heritage Preservation Commission for September. And first thing we'll do is roll call. Richard Curry,
Yep. Yes.
Margaret Fett,
Yes.
Jason DeMoe,
Yep.
John Gaspar,
Yes.
and Bob Cardinal. Okay, we have a full commission. And the first order of business is approval of the agenda. Are there any corrections or additions to the agenda? I'll make one. We'd like to add some discussion or education on the Heritage Preservation Commission law. So we'll talk about that as under, we'll put it number 4 under old business. All right, that'll be the Heritage Preservation Commission law.
Is it old business or new business?
We'll make that old business.
What's old about it?
Well, it's a law, and it's been around forever. So that's the law. Is there anything else anyone would want to add?
We probably should put in something to get grant money.
Okay, where do you want to put that, Rick?
Well, that was on new business last month. I don't think we ever,
Okay, we'll talk about that under grant money, and the thing we're going to do is silence our phones.
yes, chief.
Okay, and then anything else?
Probably,
You
well,
only get one, Rick. You only get one.
no, I can have many. Everybody has the ordinance.
Okay.
The old new ordinance that he gave out last week, we never did really discuss it.
Yeah, we're going to go through that. That's what I was describing before. Yep.
Thank you, Mike, for his service and hope and goodwill in your new job.
Oh, we're going to do that at the end of,
Yeah, I know.
okay. All right. Do it down there at number 2 after visitor presentations. Margaret, anything? Jason?
No, I think Rick covered it.
Okay, very good. All right, let's move to approve the minutes. Everybody have the minutes?
I'll move.
All right, there's a motion to approve the minutes
I'll second.
as prepared, and there's a second. Thank you, Rick, and thank you, John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed or not wanting to vote? Okay, we were all here last time. Very good. Okay, now let's move to under new business, grant money. Rick?
Okay, in our, the state has where we can apply for grant money for different things. One, we talked about having something for if the society wanted to bring something up to us. 2, for our own, we could maybe continue our historic content study and bring up possibly districting.
Okay.
And another, let's see, there was something else I was going to say. Those are things that we
Okay.
could apply for grant.
Okay.
Oh, and the other thing too would be to have somebody work on a grant to get for the federal preservative tax credit. And they have a state one too.
Okay. All right.
We might have to get a person that knows a little bit about taxes and how to work it.
Okay, so you
not
have,
any of us.
you have some resources there to contact, or what do you?
No, I'm just
Suggesting.
going off of our, if you go to our City of Maplewood Historic Contact Guide, it has a lot of the stuff
Okay, all right.
in here.
Okay, grant money?
Because we should try to get it out to the, we're somewhat supposed to get it out to the general public.
Good, put what, get it, what out?
See how they can draw these older houses or that are historic can get tax credits.
Okay, all right. So your wish is to put that on the agenda for October?
Whenever.
All right, how about that? Is that acceptable?
Federal, state.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that'll be on the October agenda under new business. All right? Okay. Let's go to old business, Heritage Preservation Award. Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members. We have another application or submittal for the Heritage Preservation Award. Mr. Pete Boulay has been nominated. So now we have 3 folks that we can evaluate. And what I think at the meeting last time, we talked about having potentially, if there are any more people that would be open for being nominated or people that you thought would be good candidates. And so I just want to ask the group, I've got 3 group applications in. I can submit them to you and you can review and make a vote on it at the next meeting, or you can do one more round of applications for potential recipients of the award.
What's the pleasure of the commission?
Was it our last meeting? Didn't we say that we were going to have it and possibly hold the vote this meeting?
We can do whatever we want.
I know we can.
So,
I'm just recalling what was at the last meeting.
okay, what's the wish?
I feel comfortable with the group that we currently have, if we could just look it over and
Okay.
probably maybe one at the next meeting.
You want to vote next week, next meeting? Okay,
So we have time to kind of look over the.
okay. Margaret?
Yeah, I agree.
John, you all right with that?
Yeah.
All right, Mike, that's what we'll do. Take the 3 and we'll decide and we'll vote next month. That'll be October.
Perfect.
Okay, number 2, new member recruitment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, we have, the City Council will be interviewing candidates for boards and commissions at the September 27th, and then the second meeting in October, so there's going to be 2 batches of interviews. We have 4 applicants for the HPC, very specific to this group, so the outreach efforts for everybody did on your own personally, but also in the community newsletter and working with the Historical Society. Renewed interest in this, so by, I would think, no later than November, we will have a full complement for the first time in a long time. So good news that we have at least 4 really strong applicants interested in just this work.
Very good. We'll give you credit for that as your.
I can't take it because it
You're
was
finishing?
everybody else's outreach, but I
Oh,
did,
Well, we can give you credit for that, I think. That's very important, because you've been our staff member for over a year, and we were down, now we're back, so that's wonderful. Okay, HPC annual report.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to load up the computer again because I turned it off. I'm going to go through the report as it's drafted, so give me just a second.
Okay.
It powered off.
That's okay, that's all right.
Can you see that?
Yes.
So this is the format of the annual report, and I'll make it a little bit bigger so people can see it. I can't see that far. What I wanted to do was put in a selection of 2020 highlights, and some of these pictures are older and some of these pictures are newer. And One of the challenges that I have is I'm not a graphic designer, and every time I tried to put in a picture, all of the text moved. And so Jason has agreed to help me format this in a little bit better way. But one of the things that I really wanted to focus on, and you can, for example, the sign at Lookout Park was supposed to be in the slide above, but this was one of those early accomplishments in 2020. We are able to list out, I haven't changed I didn't take out Pete's name yet, but we've got pictures from our session that we had at the fire station, where we've got members talking about that. We talk about some of our preservation programs and listing out some of our significant, prominent historical features. And then I got into the 2020 reviews and accomplishments, and this is where I would like the group to help format and rewrite some of these pieces. I'll go through them as I have listed them out, but as I shared at the last meeting, we did maintain our certified local government status from the State Historic Preservation Office. This annual report is one of those conditions for us to meet for next year, so we want to make sure that we get this wrapped up. We did not acknowledge Ron Cockrell's 2018 Heritage Award winning in the last report, so I want to make sure I included in this one. But then I also included Gary Bastian's award for 2019 as one of the accomplishments. I made note of number 4, our kind of conversations with Ramsey County regarding the renovations of the Poor Farm Barn. If you recall, this is when they just decided to do some renovations without really asking anybody. Different painting windows of different colors, taking down the stairs. I'll stop here and ask, is there anything else about this particular piece that they want to, folks want to at least talk about or add potentially more detail?
I think Cockrell, Mike, I think it's C-O-C-K.
Okay.
Isn't it, Rick? Isn't it, Rick? I think it is.
Okay.
Yep.
The winner's nameplate is on the back, so we'll be able to format it. I'll be able to check that in real time.
Thanks.
But is there anything else people want to talk about in terms of the renovations of our conversations with Ramsey County or connections with that project?
What year did we approve the fan, or the big fan in the barn?
That was probably 3 years ago, maybe?
Did we include it in the last?
Probably not.
Probably
not.
Okay.
There was a
There's a
big,
fan.
they call it the big, what do they call
Sorry.
it? What do they call it?
I didn't turn the mic on.
The big,
For the big fan in the barn.
yeah. Approve that.
Yeah, we approved it. They were gonna put a unit on the outside of the barn, and we said, no, they had to go on back to the drawing board, and you put it on the inside then.
Okay, so I add that component to that section around the
So
Poor
it's
Farm.
probably renovations plus a demolition, because they removed the ramp and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which they probably shouldn't have.
It removed the stairway, exterior stairway, I'm sorry, exterior.
And going along with that, when you read our ordinance, these demolitions are supposed to come here before they get done. And we've kind of passed it off and let them just take a picture and send it to us later.
Okay, anything else? Jason or Margaret? See anything else we want to put in there? You've been around now 2 years, Jason, haven't you? It's 2 years? Yeah. Margaret's been around several years.
If you scroll up, the date that I was supposed to be done, I think, is listed. Term expires 4/30/20.
Oh.
Can I go home now?
No.
That was a while ago.
Yeah. We're gonna change all that. That's
Yeah,
all
we
good.
will get that. We'll get that updated. Number 6 was the Lookout Park signage, installed interpretive sign honoring Lookout Park, the smallest park in the city of Maplewood. Number 7, the Hazelwood Fire Station gathered historic photo and information of the fire station. One of the things that I wanted to include in there is a link to the video from the event itself. I think former Fire Chief Steve Lucan did a really nice job capturing the history and answering a lot of questions, and so I think that's a piece that I would want to add there in number 7. Number 8, this is talking about projects around the bus rapid transit, and also the historic resources chapter of the city's 2040 comprehensive plan. I don't know what else to add in terms of that.
That's fine.
I did include the community development department did include a list of demolitions in 2019, and so our 2020 report is being drafted. But I only included those things that were businesses or houses. I did not include anything that were garages. So while there were more demolitions permits issued, these were some of the more significant properties that were demolished. I can change this but I know that Pete Belay represented the commission regarding the Rush Line BRT stations and so that's just a recognition of the work that was done in 2019 and 2020.
The other one that was with that Rush Line was he's left our commission.
Was it Leon?
Leon.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And Leon, T after the X.
Oh, you're right. Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
I did include the link to Steve Lucan's interview, so I'll move that up to the other piece around the Hazelwood Fire Station. Number 12 was the review of the St. Paul Regional Water Services McCarran plant renovation. I think that's a fairly significant piece of work that's coming up, so I want to make sure that I've included a lot of pictures of that project within the report. But I think the St. Paul Regional Water Services got the message that this was an important part of our work, and so I think that's good. And then I wanted to include the 1868 rail bed review as part of the project. I think that was another piece. I know that Bob Jensen and Pete, walked it. Rick, I think you tried to walk it and find it as well. So an important part of the work that's been done there. So I guess I'll stop. The question I'll ask is, what am I missing that's really obvious? Is there anything that I forgot? And I think maybe the only thing I can think about is the Moose Lodge documentation and photos. But is there anything else about accomplishments of the last year that you want to include?
We accomplished how to run a meeting by Zoom.
Yeah. Mike, you could put that under the demolitions.
Okay.
Or you can mention that, it's still up there, so.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, our discussion.
Okay.
Okay, anything else for Mike? Mike, why don't you just wrap that thing up, put a date on it, and submit it?
Okay, once I figure out how to format the pictures. Because there's a lot of neat photographs that were there, and there's some pictures of the Ramsey County Poor Farm Barn and some documented history of the McCarran plant and those kinds of things. So I want it to look nice. It's just every time I moved a picture, all the text got strange. So I don't have the technical chops to do it very well. But I did also want to talk about the last piece was some of the goals. And again, this is these are goals that are included in the comprehensive plan. They're included in the back of our work and in our workbooks. But it really is about preserving and planning, research and documentation, and then more research and documentation around human stories. So, and then I think the other one is this. I don't know that the area historical society developed a automobile tour or a walking tour, but that's something that's been on the back burner, and I think it could be fun to do. So, yeah, with just a little bit of formatting, we can sign and date this thing and get it out. So if with a handful of edits, we'll get it out to the members yet this week, and if you're okay, we can ship it off.
Okay, so why don't we all read it, and then if there's edits or any corrections that we should do, but let's approve that draft that Mike sends out this week or next week, and date it September before you leave. And then we know it's done, right?
It's on my list of things to get to get finalized and done, so I'm not,
Okay.
it's going out before I go.
All right, we're not gonna,
You're not gonna come back next month as well?
we are,
Don't we have to have them come back and make sure it's finalized?
no, we are going to approve that prior to his
I'll
going.
make the motion that we approve as we see it and any corrections he may have.
Submitted to the city and approved by the commission
Yep.
before September 27th,
Right.
all right?
So they have to go to the council, what, the 24th?
Mr. Chair, members, I believe that the annual report only has to be submitted from this governing body, from this body, so we can send it right to the state once you approve it.
Sure.
That's
Okay.
great. Okay, so that's going to be on our calendar in the next week, all right? Okay, that brings us to the law. All right, Rick, I'm gonna read something right now. And this is what I highlighted from the law. Heritage Preservation Commission, Division 6. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, it's lengthy, but I'm going to read the highlights here. All right? So this was law that was passed, and the date was adopted December 22nd, 2003, and then adopted again June 28th, 2010. So, under Section 2301, authority for establishment. Now, you can fall asleep on this, or you can just listen. No interruptions for about 5 minutes, all right?
That sounds almost like the ordinance.
Already interrupted.
Right.
Okay, here we go. There is hereby established for the City of Heritage Preservation Commission as an independent commission to the City Council as approved in Minnesota Statute 471. Statement of public policy and purpose. The City Council hereby declares as a matter of public policy that protection, preservation, perpetuation, and use of places, areas, buildings, structure, and other objects have a special historical community as aesthetic interest or value is a public necessity and is required in the interests of the people. Safeguard the cultural resources of the city by preserving sites, structures, districts, and landmarks which reflect the elements of the city's cultural, social, economic, political, or architectural history. Number 2, protect and enhance the city's attractions to residents and visitors. Number 3, foster civic pride in the beauty and notable achievements of the past. 4, enhance the visual and aesthetic character, diversity, and interests of the city. Number 5, promote the use and preservation of historic sites and landmarks for the education and general welfare of the city of the people of the city. Advisory Board, here's where we come in. All actions of the commission shall be in the nature of recommendations to the city council, and said commission shall have no final authority with reference to any matters, except as the council may lawfully delegate authority to it. Composition, appointment, qualifications, terms. The Heritage Preservation Commission shall be composed of 7 members appointed by the city council, who shall be residents of the city and shall be selected to assure that the commission is representative of the various areas of the city and responsive to the needs of the people. The commission membership shall be drawn from the persons with demonstrated interest and or expertise in historic preservation. If available to the committee, at least 2 members of the commission shall be heritage preservation-related professionals, the professionals of history, architecture, architectural history, archaeology, planning, real estate, design, building, trades, landscape, architecture, or law. A member of the Maplewood Heritage Preservation Commission is required to be a representative to the Ramsey County Historical Society. The city shall pay for the membership of the commission or designate. The members of the Heritage Preservation Commission shall serve staggered terms. All appointed shall be assigned by the City Council for a term of 3 years. And just to wrap up the end of it, maintenance of records and documents. Register of historical sites and landmarks. The city shall maintain a register of historical sites and landmarks. Depository for documents. The office of the building official is designated as a depository for all studies, surveys, reports, programs, and designations of the historical sites and landmarks. Okay, those are the highlights that I picked up. I know that we are all assigned to read this, and that was our homework for this meeting. Are there any other comments?
That's the ordinance.
Yes.
It's not the law, it's the ordinance.
Yes, that's right.
It's the ordinance, it's not the law.
Well, the law is embedded in that ordinance by the state.
The city made this ordinance. And that's what like I told Mike over the phone, the last couple months, what I've been arguing is all here in the ordinance. The one that I had only had almost like a redacted
Yeah.
part of it.
And you remember the date of that, Rick? You still have it with you?
Same thing here, but when they gave it to us, we only had the redacted big letter stuff.
What was it? What year was that? 2001?
No, 2003 or something like that.
Okay, all
whatever.
right.
But they didn't include, when I read this thing here, what I was screaming about was all the land use we're supposed to check and all that. It's all included in the current ordinance. That was not what Jenny or staff gave us at first.
Okay.
So I thank Mike for putting up with me and you guys. When I found this, it was kind of like, oh, okay. I wasn't just pulling it out of my head.
I think what you're referring to is it should come before the Heritage Preservation Commission, right? If there's changes.
A lot of the
and-
stuff should come. I mean, we have the demolishing, they can go and say they're going to have a demolishing, but that should almost come first here so that we see it.
Right.
And then we give them, okay, go ahead and demolish it.
So that was included. That was included. I
Yeah,
did not
that's
read that.
inclu-
Yeah, that's in there.
Land use and everything else
Yep.
that I was screaming about is all in the ordinance.
Demolition, excavating, moving a building, remodeling, new construction. Okay. Okay. Any other comments, discussion?
Staff.
Mr. Chair, I'll just say, this is the great debate of all Heritage Preservation Commissions in every city. Should it go to the HPC first and then the planning, or should it go to the planning department and then the HPC? And that is a great debate. It changes with every community. It's an important conversation to have. I'm glad that we have this same document to work off of, because now we're all playing from the same hymn book or song book, however you want to say it. So I think this is a good step, and I think this is an ongoing discussion. And the one thing I would recommend, and you can do this or not do this, but whoever has the staff liaison role should at least once a year connect with the Planning Commission, and maybe we do one kind of joint session with the Planning Commission so people know where the line is about which commission should go to for that. So I think that would be a helpful thing to get on the same page.
Rick, do you concur with that?
Yeah, well, what I also said is try to get it to the rest of the staff that has planning and design review our ordinance, so because, and even here tonight, there's a lot of us, that weren't here when we put this stuff together, and it's somewhat new. And they have all new members, and a lot of them have their own, what do I want to call it, own agenda and what they want to see. This would, and we maybe need to see some of their ordinances too, so that everybody in the city can somewhat, like a gear, mesh together.
Okay. I think your point is well taken, and we're all on board. So as we welcome new members, we'll put this in front of them. Let's remember to do that and put them, make them aware of how we're reviewing, and try and coordinate a joint meeting with the Planning Commission.
The other thing that I have, and I gave it to Mike too, is somebody gave us the guidelines to historic buildings
Very good.
from the Department of Interior.
Very
that
good.
Some of us we should make probably more copies and get it to our members so they know what we're doing. That I don't have to pull everything out of the.
You can give it to me, and I'll make copies for next meeting.
Ready?
No, this is just, okay, I'll do that. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, Maplewood Area Historical, we'll conclude with visitor presentations. We don't have anyone here, but we do have mention of the Maplewood Area Historical Society update of an event coming in October. Mike?
Is there a way to run the camera?
There it is. The other way. There. The other way. There you go.
Perfect.
Pull it down a little, Mike. Because you got to get that cowboy part in there.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, thank you.
All in there. There we go.
Okay, so this is an event that's going to take place in 3 or 4 weeks. It's Sunday, probably after the Vikings game, 4 to 8. And this is at the Burntrop Farm. And it's like a musical with all kinds of music and entertainers and a fine meal. You can see what it is. Tickets are $25. You can contact me, or you can contact Mary O'Malley. And we encourage everybody to come out to the farm. I'd encourage all
The
members.
event is the Big Red Barn Sale
Right.
on the 11th.
Yeah, that's this Saturday, and Mike had that up earlier. So we want to highlight this
Sunday, is it?
Saturday, 2 days from today, the 11th.
11th is a Saturday.
Oh, okay. They've had so many, that's usually a wedding day.
Yeah, so everybody's aware of that. So we want people to know about this. And this is just a few weeks off. October 3rd, it's a Sunday after the Vikings game at 4 to 8.
And we would also like anybody that wants to become a member of the society to come out and join us.
That's right.
We are down a few members.
Okay. Anything else? Jason?
I have nothing.
Margaret? Richard?
No, I've said enough.
John? Well, then we just turn to our staff member, and I will speak for us right now. I would say that we've been very fortunate to have Mike Sable as our staff member for probably 2 years. And prior to that, we didn't have a staff member. And we are going to miss him dearly. And I know the city's going to miss him dearly. So, anyone want to mention anything else about Mike? Just say a pleasant word, like he's the greatest and we need him back here. And we'll welcome him back at any time.
There,
There we
now we're back. We woke the TV guy up.
Okay. Any comments? John, we'll turn to you first.
Thanks for all your help.
Thank you.
And after a year on Zoom, we finally get to see you.
Yeah, that's right.
When you leave.
All right, Richard?
Thank you, Mike. You've topped it.
Thank you.
Margaret?
I've appreciated his positive attitude toward some of our concerns, and also, I guess when you're this good, you're going to leave. So, I just wish you the best, and there's no doubt you'll have a lot of success in your next job.
Jason?
I appreciate the fact that every meeting's been very organized. It seems like everything's been very well researched. Everything is laid out very nicely for us. And yeah, I appreciate everything you've done. I'm glad to have served with you, for you, in my first stint in working with the city of Maplewood. And I wish you the best of luck in everything. Thank you.
And I'll just add that you've been very professional and very organized, and some accomplishments were had under your support as a staff for our commission. And we wish you the best. And you're always welcome back if you ever want to come back. And I think we're going to miss you. So I think Maplewood is fortunate to have had you for a couple years, and then you've done well for the city of Maplewood. So,
Well, I just want to thank all of you. I was, I've got an HR background, and I don't have a heritage preservation background, and it was a steep learning curve for me. And so everything you said to me, I will say to you. I appreciate the perspective and the insight and the questions and making me better when I don't have answers to things. And so this was, and we did it in the midst of a global pandemic, and so we did do bulk of the work from our kitchens and our living rooms and sometimes in our porches, and I think I even had one in my front step because it was a nice day and I thought I could get out in the sun. So we did kind of make it up as we went along for a little stretch there, but I will say that I will advocate very strongly for a great staff liaison replacement. And I really do want to cement that connection with the community development, planning, building official group, so we can make that happen. And then, yeah, the city of Maplewood, the census came out, and 42,088 residents officially as part of the U.S. Census. That is our total population, 42,088. Just to give you a sense, within the next 3 years, we think there will be at least 1,000 new housing units built, various multifamily housing projects, and that will add another nearly 2,000 people. And so I made a joke that, you know, by the time the census comes around next time, it's going to be 50,000 residents. And so the history will be important to capture because the change is always going to be coming. So exciting things ahead. I'm going to miss this place, and I'm going to miss all of you, so thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you, yeah. Appreciate you tremendously. Maybe you can tell the public, they're probably going to see your face here for the last time, what job you're taking and where you're going.
I have accepted the position of Assistant City Manager for the City of Bloomington. It's the same role I have now in just a larger community, and it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. Thinking about work in my future, it was something that I couldn't pass up, but I have, so I will do that, and I will start that on September 27th of this year. So I'm not gone yet. You still got me for 2 weeks.
So that Bloomington, is it called Mall of America, or what's it called out there?
They've got some airport and some mall, and the busiest intersection in the state of Minnesota is 35W and 494.
Oh, it is.
So there's a lot of traffic and a lot of business and a lot of staff needs, and so I will get to work right away.
Very good. Well, best of luck. It's good to know you.
Think about collaborations. We're still here.
Yeah, the opposite. Okay, anything further? We're adjourned.
Move for adjournment.
We're adjourned.